There was an interesting moment after the game, though, because the Bills' defense ultimately only gave up 14 points.
Yeah, right.
They can't be blamed for what happened last night. At the press conference, there was a joint appearance by Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, and it got a little dicey because of the approach that was taken by the reporter. Let's have a listen to it.
Over 40 years since a team has won a game running that few times in a game. I mean, passing that few times. Is that embarrassing?
I mean, what kind
Boy,
of
what are we doing, bro?
What kind of question is that?
It's a question. The nation's going to be criticizing you calling you.
All right.
I think we
keep
gave
that.
up
Keep all right.
7 points.
Yeah,
14
14 to
14.
14 to 10. Is that the final score?
We made stops when we had to. They had one big run. I mean, they got good backs.
Yeah. All right.
They kept coming back to a couple runs. I mean, I don't know how you want us to answer that question.
That's funny. Well, we'll remember that.
This goes in this respect. It's all about respect. I come here every single week and I answer your questions truthfully, honestly. I appreciate you guys. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, I'll say this. If he's answering the questions truthfully and honestly, he's the only one in the league who's doing that on a consistent basis. That's a different topic altogether. But, yeah, there's got to be a better way to phrase the question than ask if it's embarrassing. It's not like they gave up 50 points in those conditions. They gave up 14, and it was one long run. That was it. They otherwise played their game. You would ordinarily think with that team, that offense, and the financial investment they've made in Josh Allen, 14 would be enough.
Right. Yeah, they got unlucky. Yeah, the elements hurt their football team more than the other team. You know, like we talked about. The Patriots are built to run and play defense and play an ugly football game. It's not exactly what the Bills are made to do. And, I mean, you saw how emotional the game was. I understand that. First off, I love those two guys. I do. I mean, they're as good as a tandem of safeties in all of football. I mean, wear their hearts on their sleeve like a badge of honor. I love them. I really do. And you could tell how emotional the game was last night for Sean McDermott and company because, hey, you know, we talked about it last week when we broke down this game. I mean, the Patriots are a huge, big, physical football team. The Bills are physical, but they're not big. They knew they had to kind of like ratchet up to another degree last night of just a frenzy of craziness. I mean, forget the players on the field. Sean McDermott looked like he was ready to go out in the middle of the field and fight people the whole game. So that was emotional. They knew it was about hitting, not being pushed around. You know, that's how they lost to the Colts. That's how they lost to the Titans. They look at themselves as a Super Bowl team. You know, so, you know, no, they don't need to be embarrassed by their performance at all. But it is this type of team that gives them issues. When you got guys like Trent Brown and the rest of that group, Shaq Mason and company there in New England, where it's a bunch of 300-pounders, 315, offensively, defensively. You know, they wore on the Bills. They really did. And this is kind of the Bills' kryptonite. And it's going to be one of those, you hope they don't get that type of matchup in the playoffs if you're a Bills fan.
Now, with that said,
yeah,
and I'm somewhat hesitant to just blurt out what's coming to my brain after getting tag teamed by you and Pete earlier when I made a valid point on the dangers of handing the ball off late in a game like that when you don't really have to. But I digress. Why aren't the Bills built differently? Why are they built like that? They play outdoors in Western New York. You're going to have games like this. Why are they built like the greatest show on turf? Why are they built like the Chargers of the late 80s? It just kind of occurred to me. Why aren't you built like an ass-kicking, run the ball, stop the run, play good defense, take advantage of the elements, try to get yourself in a position where you're playing in the elements in January? They're striving for the 1 seed. I don't think you want it if you're the Bills. I don't think you want to be outdoors. They're looking to build a new stadium.
Right.
Maybe they should build a dome up there.
Hey, listen, that's a real thing. Now, they have a quarterback. They got a quarterback who, of course, can throw through the elements just about no matter what. But you're right, Mike. I mean, yeah, they're missing something for Northeast football come, you know, playoff time. You're right. And what I would even argue against that, too, is they're not built like the greatest show on turf either. That's where we got to start beating this down everybody's brain. People don't realize. Okay, I mean, we got Stephon Diggs. He's the man. We got that. But after that, it's just a lot of good guys. Good. Nothing solid. Dawson Knox, you can see he can run a little. He can barely catch a cold, running bare butt through Alaska. We saw that last night. Cole Beasley, non-existent really. Emmanuel Sanders, again, a reason he's on third team in third year. It's 12 years in the career. So they're not that great that way either. It's the Josh Allen show. It's, oh, wait, you're not that open. Let me throw a laser and just hit the bullseye. That's how they play. But Mike, your question's right. I don't know if they intended it to be this way, but maybe it's Josh Allen's talent that changed them. They just haven't been able to get the offensive line the right way, the right running back the right way. And they fell in the trap last year of, hey, we're so great at throwing, let's just keep throwing. And they've lost their physicality element and the ability to control the line of scrimmage at all.
Now, it's not like that wind is a common occurrence, but you are going to have to play in the elements, and the weather will be a factor from time to time. But you're bringing in teams like the Colts, who seem to be better constructed to play,
no doubt,
in those conditions that you're likely to get in Western New York in December and January. The Patriots better constructed to deal with it. The Titans, you could argue, better constructed to deal with it, and the Bills just aren't. And I understand back from 1990 through 1993 with the Kagan offense, it worked, but it just
tough,
would
Mike.
seem that it would seem it's conducive to having a team that is more constructed for that anyway, and it would have served them well last night if the team was built that way.
No, Mike, I'm with you. I mean, you would think too with the defensive head coach that would be the way you'd want to play, but I really think it's Josh Allen that kind of fell into their lap as far as whoa, he's so good, and they're going with that. It's like New England in 2006, 2007. Yeah, we play in New England. We run the ball. We want to play defense. But, damn, we got Brady and we got receivers. That's our best way to win. So that's what we're going to do. And that's kind of the way the Bills have gone. But, yeah, they've lost all ability to run the ball, and that's where it comes back to bite them in the butt like a night like last night. You're right. And, yeah, that's the worry for them. Big physical team, that can run the ball, control the clock. The Patriots got good guys in the secondary. They can slow down the pass game. Belichick amazing when he knows there's only one, element of your offense that he really has to defend. And that's why, I don't know. Wind, no wind. I think the Bills versus Patriots is a tough matchup for the Bills. I really do. And it's going to be tough sledding even with no wind in New England maybe in a few weeks. It won't be easy for that offense.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.